How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, chat? Let me zoom into the screen here. Where are my buttons? There we go. How are we doing? Welcome back. It is Wednesday, hump day, FOMC day, whatever day you want to call it. It is the Leafs game 2 day, but it is May 7th, and time to talk about the stock market. 8 p.m. with your boy TraderPrad. Hopefully you had a good day today. Today not so good for me overall, but to focus on some of the things that I was battling with to start this month, I in that aspect I was doing well in the sense that discipline, patience, waiting for my trades and not forcing trades out of thin air. So today on that aspect I did a pretty good job, but sadly a setup that is the most profitable setup for me, probably the only profitable setup for me realistically, ended up coming into play, and I ended up losing on that one today. So was positive, was profitable for the whole day until a certain setup came into play and kind of took away my profits and turned me red. And then at that point I was like, yeah, there's no coming back from this one at this point. But overall it's a setup that's the most profitable setup for me, so I'm not gonna be upset that it took away a little bit of money from me, right? It's sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. As long as you win more than you lose, that's all that matters. So gonna end that topic with that one, but still have some trades to talk about today. If you guys are interested to see how I traded, my best trades of the day and my worst trades of the day, we'll gladly show you guys that. Also talk about some of the earnings names that played out today after hours. Ignore DoorDash actually reported a couple days earlier. But besides DoorDash, we still got some good names up here, such as ARM, that's a semiconductor, AppLovin, that was a pretty big name on the last earnings season. And then they had a lot of short reports come out about them. Carvana, Cleveland Cliffs, Occidental Petroleum, Dutch Bros, that's your coffee. Pretty sure Dutch Bros is coffee. I could be wrong about that one. And an IPO that I remember trading myself. So a lot of stocks over here tonight in the after hours for us to go through, and also some names tomorrow in the pre-market. So interested to see what opportunity set up for us to take advantage and for us to make $1. And once again, as I mentioned, it is the Leafs game night today. It is NHL Game 2, round 2 for the Maple Leafs. It's end of first period. Almost said first quarter because I was thinking about NBA. End of first period, 1-1. I like that. Let's see what we got in store for round 2. So if you randomly see me moving over here to my head moving over to this way, and you know, lost in the thought process, it's because I'm watching the Leafs game. Right now it's an advertisement. It's because I'm watching the Leafs game and there's probably some activity going on. So just gonna let you guys know that if you catch me repeating sentences like I am right now, or saying the same thing twice, it's because I'm distracted a little bit. But hopefully that doesn't happen too much. Let's talk about some of the trades that I pulled off today. Starting with Google. Boy, oh boy, what a move on Google today. Google got absolutely smoked. That was a 3 ATR move to the downside off of Apple News. So insane move on Google. Possibly an indication that we are still in a bear market, possibly an indication that things can go south very quickly, very quickly. And news was basically Apple is going to think about introducing AI to their browser, which I believe is Safari browser. Obviously, introducing AI to the browser is not the best thing for Google because that's where their business comes from. Their business comes from you know, people going onto the Google browser. Maybe you type what's the best chocolate bar to eat, and then if, let's say, Hershey's is actually paying Google to put their name up top, that's the revenue generation that they get from ads, right? Top placement, top search engine placement, and so on. All of this is basically a revenue source that will be potentially impacted if people are just going towards AI directly and asking AI, what is the best chocolate to eat? And if AI is not getting paid from the backside, if AI is not getting dollars from Hershey's, then the chances are it doesn't have to say Hershey's, right? It probably looks at the online forum, it looks at the votes, it looks at consensus, and then it tells you, hey, maybe Toblerone is actually much better than you know, Hershey's cookies and cream. So it's things like this that will affect Google in the long run. But if you actually take a look at it, I think this was a little bit of an overreaction because Google already has AI integrated questions into their, for example, how old is Oscar Piastri, right? I guess this is too basic of a question to have on Google where the AI doesn't trigger, but how would I be able to trigger AI? Like, I can trigger AI every day when I'm asking Google normal questions myself, but right now, obviously, I'm not able to trigger AI on Google. Anyways, the idea is Google AI, right where this box is, you get a little pop-up with the AI-based information. It says AI overview. Who makes more money, India or Pakistan? And I'm sure this will give me there we go, an AI review right away, instead of you having to finding links. Previously, these links used to be a search engine optimized. Sometimes they were also highest paid links that are played up there. But now you don't need to go through any of that. You just have an AI overview telling you that, hey, India makes what, 15 times more money than Pakistan overall on GDP. I'm only bringing this up because India and Pakistan are at war right now and things are getting heated. If you go take a look at Polymarket, I believe, oh my god, they already scored. Second period just started. Brad Marchand, man. Pretty sure it's Brad Marchand. Yeah, it was Brad Marchand. So annoying. Um, Polymarket, India, Pakistan. If you type that, you'll see some of these numbers over here are actually kind of scary. 20% chance that nuclear bombs blow up in 2025. 4% chance, I mean, even 1% chance that a nuke will go off before June is kind of insane. You have these over here. Will Pakistan military strike on India by Friday? 97% chance that Pakistan will attack India by Friday. I mean, who knows something? Are you telling me somebody knows something that Pakistan is going to do for sure? Pakistan military strike on India in May, 98% chance. I mean, this is kind of insane to take a look at. So it's either somebody knows something and it's not normal dollar volume. You got almost $1 million being traded on this option. So it's not normal. For example, if you were to put 10 bucks on this, you win $230 on this bet at the moment. So it's almost like somebody knows something is going to happen for sure before Friday. But if you believe that all of this is bullshit, excuse my French, but it's not gonna happen, they're not gonna attack India by Friday, then betting no will give you 10 bucks, rewards you $230, which honestly I think is not a bad gamble. But betting on war is kind of insane, honestly. This is nuts. But I'm also the guy who bet on COVID, who also bet on market recession and accounts blowing up. So this is the business that I live in. This is the business that you also live in for the other traders. So if you are interested, by the way, I'll take your bet. Pakistan may act before 12 a.m. Really? Okay, so maybe you know something that I don't. If Pakistan does do something before Friday, then obviously if you say yes on that website, you make money. But if you say no on it, which I think I want to do, but the thing is you need like a VPN to use Polymarket, so I'm not that interested to make a Polymarket account at the moment. I don't have one, so I'm not that interested to make a Polymarket account to bet on and so on. But it's pretty interesting to see how, you know, there's $1 million being gambled on that single option at the moment. Coming back to the stock anyways, to the stock market, pretty big down move over here about the AI news from Apple. Throughout the whole time, Google was going down and Apple was also going down, which was pretty surprising. I thought Apple would actually bounce and bounce quicker than Google, because Apple adding AI to their browser is a good thing instead of a bad thing for them. So I thought this news would be good for Apple, and I was trying the long on Apple. Clearly I lost. I got burnt out on this a bunch of times, but Google ended up being a much cleaner trade after that failed breakout of low a day. It gets back above the previous candle's highs, and then on the pullback it holds the previous candle highs, giving you a very, very clean long, about $2 per share or so, right back into the 21 EMA on the 5-minute chart. So very clean trade. Had it had more juice, I think VWAP was a very reasonable expectation, but it just did not have the juice for that at that moment. Market was also very back and forth, and then at 2 o'clock you also had FOMC, so I was very happy with getting out before the FOMC move on the market today. So Google, nice little right side of the V trade, getting long on this name and enjoying the ride to the north side. ASST, this is actually very interesting. ASST has been one of those small cap names where, I guess I should word it in a different way. ASST is in the same basket of stocks that have been recently announcing some sort of a Bitcoin treasury, some sort of a Bitcoin partnership, or putting Bitcoin on their portfolios. catalyst, and these stocks have been going crazy. So I do try to short on the failed breakout of the opening range high, or the pre-market high, sorry. The failed breakout does give me a very good short. I'm in the money like 20-30 cents for a $1 name, $2 name. 20-30 cents is a lot, right? But you know, I'm expecting a way bigger pullback on this name. During that whole time, I do have the concept or the idea that, hey, I've seen this before. These stocks have been squeezing and going higher, especially if Bitcoin's making a move higher. And you know, some of you guys in my chat yesterday mentioned that Bitcoin is actually back above to the north side, going into the 97,000 area. So keeping that in mind, I was like, I don't want to be you know, stuck short on this name. I want to be very fluid, I guess is the word to use. Very versatile. I want to be able to flip back and forth if the short is there or if the long is there, and thankfully that mentality allowed me to get in on the long, able to catch some quick longs up, and then getting another quick long up to the north side. Later on, this was kind of the move that obviously I was looking for, but not being able to participate in that move because I was too busy with FOMC at that moment. So ASST, hey, Leaf scored, let's go, Willie scoring goals out here, baby. William Nylander, for anyone who's wondering who's Willie. We got beautiful score over there, man. 2-2, bang, let's go. 88. Anyways, coming back, ASST, beautiful long. It's a sector that I have been seeing booming recently. There's been few stocks like that. Upstart, long off of VWAP for a very clean long all the way up into $47, $48 area. Later on, was looking for some sort of a move off of VWAP, but yeah, that didn't really pan out, and didn't go much for a second trade over there. GPUS tried to break out long off the high day of the opening range breakout kinda, but no follow through, so quickly dumped that position. Same idea on SRPT. Honestly, maybe should not even have been taking this trade given how extended the stock is on the daily, but the pattern was there. There was a very clear pattern that I could risk off of to get short. So the pattern was there, and you know, had you given the stop to VWAP or gotten back into it, you see how you would have been in a winning trade at the end of the day. The idea was there, the concept was right, but at that moment when I got in, it just wasn't right at that moment. So taking a real quick loss over here on SRPT on the opening range break. TH asking 2-2. Yes, it is 2-2, my friend. 2-2 in the second period with 14 minutes left. Palantir, beautiful trade. I think I could have traded this a little bit better. This is the SMB Capital FLS setup, the 9 EMA crossing VWAP setup. So getting short when that happens, adding on pops, scalping on the drops, and trying to catch that bigger move. And over here, I tried to stay away because FOMC was coming up, so that ended up helping me a little bit, but later on getting burnt because of FOMC again. So Palantir, a little bit of a battle. I talked about Apple really quickly, and Tesla tried to short this one off of the FOMC reaction. You can see how right here there was kind of a buyer buying. You got the drop right before FOMC, or the FOMC drop, I guess you could say, and then bought right back up, and then the buyer tries to hold above here, but once that buyer cracks and we start to hold below that buyer, that's where I go short. But then possibly my stop should have been just above here, and I didn't need to risk that wide. I was a little, you know, hoping that it doesn't keep going higher, and I get lucky and it does go back down. I was hoping for that, so that made me use this as a stop instead of you know, actually sticking to the plan and using the stop what should have been as a stop. So that is my trades on the day. Overall positive just from momentum trading. or you know, intraday scalping, whatever you want to call it. But red on the day because of a certain setup that I'm not showing you. I don't post those charts on Twitter because I don't want anyone else to know that setup. It's a very secretive setup, and honestly, I might even get fired if I talk about that setup. So it's something that is a very office company setup that is secretive, right? So gotta keep quiet about that one. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win on those. Most of the time you win on those, sometimes you lose on those. Alright, that's my trades on the day. Let's go prepare for tomorrow. So making a watch list. As you guys probably noticed, I was a little slow to start the stream today. I was a little late getting home. And I'm guessing T8 saying, wasn't that delayed? Was this about me starting the stream late? Or, oh, actually, I think I know what this is about. This is about the thumbnail, which is GTA 6, the GTA 6 thumbnail. Yes, the game is delayed by a year now, but they have two new trailers, or one new trailer that came out recently. It was actually the second trailer that came out. So the trailer looked great. A lot of hype got built around that trailer. So I am very excited for GTA 6. Granted, I have yet to play GTA 5. I have GTA 5, but I've yet to play it. You know, I just never got into it. I never got into this whole role play nonsense. You know, it's maybe I'm not as big of a gamer as I thought I was, but I can't roleplay being a McDonald's worker on a PC when I'm playing a game. You know, I play games like Counter-Strike, like Valorant, like competitive shooting, first-person shooter, or even third-person shooter. I play competitive shooting games where I think actual skill is used, not GTA role plays where you're pretending to be a drunk dad or like a McDonald's employees or something. You know, just I can't imagine me doing that. But you know, people do it on stream and they have fun. More power to them. But when the game does come out, I'll be looking to see how it is, how it plays, how the graphics are, and all the other fun stuff. There were some rumors that they're gonna try and make it VR compatible. That'd be pretty cool. I've yet to buy something VR also. I don't have a VR headset. So if you guys want to support your boy TraderPrad in some VR headset fun, then check out the link below in the description for the Patreon link and support your boy. I will appreciate that very lot. Or just hit the subscribe on YouTube and hit the like on YouTube. That would also mean the world to me. I'm gonna just quickly decrease the size of this box because I feel like that box is a little too big. All right, that looks much better if you ask me. Okay, put some stocks on the watch list from the after hours. Let's go take a look at some of the stocks from pre-market. That's going to be Peloton. Chances are I'm not going to give two F's about Peloton. Shopify, ConocoPhillips, D-Wave. Okay, D-Wave reports tomorrow. WBD reports tomorrow. Crocs reports tomorrow. Uh-oh, don't score. Alright, good job. Crocs reports tomorrow. We got some heavy hitters reporting today already. Uber, Disney, Novo Nordisk, Unity, Gold, not really interested in that one. AMD, Supermicro, Rivian, I'm not gonna put Rivian on my watch list. Tempest AI, Celsius, Datadog, Palantir, anything else? And then now we can use our good friends over at Centerpoint. Google, obviously Google's important. ABDX up 18% after reporting earnings and announced the company entered into a definitive agreement to be acquired by TPG partnership with CorePlay for $10 per share in cash. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I like that. ABDX popping up almost to $10. So not something that you guys will actually be able to use to trade, sorry, but it's something that I will be looking forward to take advantage of. It's called the merger and acquisition setup. So AVDX goes on my watch list. Marvell down 8% of the company posted its postpone its investor day and receive several price target cuts. So MRVL getting smoked over there, and chances are MRVL getting smoked a little bit more after hours with the help of ARM's report. Looks like actually no move at all on MRVL over here after hours. After ARM's earnings report, we did have a positive news about the semiconductor, that Trump will roll back on the AI curb that Biden put into place. So some of the rollbacks for the AI restrictions that gave a nice little pop on the market on semiconductor stocks. I've been talking about this little 115 breakout for quite some time now. So 115 breaking out actually happened, and I was not ready for it. That's sad. So that happened into the close, so that doesn't matter as much. But this 115 area tomorrow will be very important if we pull back and stay above this 115.50 tomorrow. What happened? Did somebody break their leg or something? Was there a fight? I think there was a fight. Hold up, chat. Let me watch this. Oh, buddy might have got a concussion. Florida Panthers guy might have had a concussion here. And then another Florida Panthers guy started jumping the Maple Leafs guy, and he started throwing punches on him. Was that Austin Matthews? There's no way you're fighting Austin Matthews. People will knock you out. Okay, yeah, that's not Austin Matthews. I was gonna say, there's no way you're throwing hands on Austin Matthews, the captain of the Leafs. People will kill you. What's happening? Is there a penalty here? They're talking to the two captains. The referees are talking to the two captains. I think that was a fair hit. That was a fair hit. Obviously, you guys can't see this game, and if I do show it, I'll get demonetized and maybe even banned off of YouTube, and NHL will come knocking on my door for $1 million, which I don't have. So I don't want to be showing this, but come on. That looked like a legal hit, and if Toronto goes to penalty for that, that's insane. But Buddy might get a concussion. Coming back to Nvidia off of its news catalyst, that's a pretty important stock over there. But I might want to hold off on adding Nvidia to the watch list just yet. So I'm going to put HIMS first. HIMS, Nvidia, Rivian down 5% after report news that U.S. House is likely to scrap the EV tax credit. That's not good news for Tesla either, right? So EV tax credit possibly getting scrapped very soon, and Rivian taking a little bit of a beating off of that. CRL, whatever is CRL, up 18% after the company reported better than expected Q1 financial results. Dash down 6%. I thought Dash reported a few days ago. They did not report today. No, they did not report today. They reported like here. What is okay, anyways. But big move, day 2 move, I guess, on DoorDash all the way to the downside over here. Possibly could look for pops to continue looking short for a possible day 3 trade or something. 180 seems to be that key level area. Today's VWAP 180, so doesn't hurt having DoorDash on the watch list. I wasn't intending to add DoorDash on the watch list, but I'll throw it up there. ROK, is that Roku? No, up 11% after the company reported better than expected results. What is ROK? Rockwell Automation. Oh, okay. Big move on day 1, but what is the volume on this? Average 30-day 1 million. Today, volume 2 million. Not sure if there is too much importance on this one tomorrow. There could be a day 2 trade. Big gap up, but I'm not too sure if there is high priority on this tomorrow, honestly. I'll throw it in there, who cares. And now I get to add the usual suspects. So MSTR, IBIT, Robinhood, which is actually reclaimed $50. Robinhood looks good. What else? IBIT, MSTR, Robinhood, Coinbase, Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, QQQ, SPY, IWM, and the Dow Jones. All right, so that is my watch list for tomorrow. Now let's try to speed run through the watch list and quickly read some of these earnings reports for us. If you guys are interested in an awesome software that I use daily to trade with, and it's because they have a Squawk. Squawk is basically a live conversation. This guy reads out news as it's happening to you. Where is my Linktree page? There you go. So Benzinga Pro, I love using Benzinga Pro when I'm trading daily. Along with news stuff, they also have extra stuff that you can take advantage of, like scanning charts, movers, scanners, basically more scanners, heat maps, and even Benzinga AI, which I've yet to play with. But you know what? Let's actually play with this. What does this do? What the? Garbage. No, I'm joking. Obviously, they should not be giving you recommendations and direct advice, because that would be possibly illegal. You have to be a licensed what is it? I can't remember. Registered technician or something. Not like a market technician or whatever, but you got to be registered. You got to have a license to be able to. Financial advisor. There you go. You got to be a licensed financial advisor to be giving finance advice overall. Okay, now let's start with AppLovin, APP. One of the most loved stocks from the last earnings report, and then got slammed back down through short reports after short reports. They now reporting 1.67 versus 1.45, which is a 149% increase from same period last year of 0.67. Ooh, company reported 1.48 versus 1.38. This is a 40% increase from same period last year of 1.06. Also very good. Anything about the outlook? Second quarter advertising revenue. Oh my goodness, I keep getting scared because it's a power play for Florida, and every shot just keeps going right by the goalie. AppLovin expects second quarter advertising revenue in the range of 1.195 to 1.215. Looks like that's a drop quarter over quarter. Company anticipates second quarter advertising adjusted EBITDA 970 to 990. AppLovin executives will, okay, that's a conference call. And at the time of the report, the stock went up 17%. Is that right? It is. So 17% up. It did shoot up back into the 350. If I remember correctly, the stock was at like $400, $500 at one point. Yes, I do remember it correctly. So making a little bit of a move back, which is good. These were the muddy water reports that brought it all the way back into the 200-day moving average. And honestly, the fact that this is above the 200-day moving average is very, very bullish. That's very bullish. So no matter how big the short report was, it did not matter. Potentially short report was used as a liquidity vehicle to just create liquidity and then use that as an exit, right? So that way you're not manipulating the price too much, and you're able to get the stock to go down first to have it move down in your favor, and then also get out of that position. So possibly something along those lines taking place, but this is all speculation. However, the stock making a 17% pop in the after hour over here is very, very important. So this after hour low 335, I'm expecting that to come into play, and possibly you know, bouncing off of that tomorrow. So if this 335 area comes into play tomorrow, keep an eye out for that one. If pre-market we're already above 335, sorry, in pre-market we're already above 360 and trading much higher than 360, then that kind of changes things, honestly, because I'm not looking to you know, take breakout longs above 400. I'll more so be looking to fade the move from 400, but if it's in this area, then I'm more than happy looking long at 335 for a move to 360, for a move to 400 or something crazy. So let's see if AppLovin sets up for us on a trade opportunity to the upside. The report was good. They guided to the upside somewhat. And you know, everything at the moment, disregarding the short report stuff from the past, everything at the moment looks pretty good, and the market liked it too, and that's the most important thing right there. Did the market like the report or not? Let me hide this thing because that one's annoying me right now. Nice little flat top into 264 on Carvana, and right before the all-time high. Oh, I almost nailed it. Not the all-time high, but the 52-week high, which is around $300. So let's go see. Ooh, I'm guessing it moved to the downside. Oh, okay, that's okay. First to the downside, and then an immediate V-shaped recovery move back to the north side. 265 now holding as a support. That is very, very interesting on Carvana. So what is the report? I mean, it's very simple, right? If it's above 264, 265, there's no short tomorrow. If it's below 264, 265, then enjoy shorting the stock. But given how it reacted to the earnings move after hours, would you really want to be looking short on this name? I don't know. So more so interested to see if I get a long off of 264 tomorrow for a move into you know, 270, 290, wherever it wants to go at that point. Let's quickly go read what the report looks like for this vending machine, car vending machine company. 4.23 billion. What? Okay. Carvana is making money these days, man. Versus 3.98. Okay, estimates. So beat estimates. 1.51 versus 60. Not bad. I mean, look, that's a big beat on EPS. Come on. Total revenue increased 38% year over year. Vehicle sales increased by 46% year over year. Guidance expects sequential increase in retail units sold and adjusted EBITDA in the second quarter. Company said it remains on track to deliver significant growth in both retail units sold and in the EBITDA in the full year 2025. After 4 consecutive quarters of over 30% retail growth paired with adjusted EBITDA margins consistently within its long-term financial model range, the company announced its next management objective to sell 3 million retail units per year. Wow, that's actually insane. 3 million cars per year. And okay, for the next 5 to 10 years, bring in about 13.5. Okay, the company said its earnings release. Look, this is not a bad report if you ask me. Expected 60, and they reported 1.51. Expected 4 billion, they gave you 420 billion. Right? 38% growth year over year, and they've been doing this for the past 4 consecutive quarters. So all things looking good. If you ask me, this move was fugazi. Whoa, what's going on over here? We got earnings whispers, TradingView giving us completely different information than what Benzinga is giving us. So possibly this was the number that first came out, and then the number was possibly corrected after to 152, and some of the websites or some of the other sources have yet to correct it, and that would make logical sense as to why we got the drop first and then a big reversal back up. At least that's how I'm thinking it played out. Sometimes it plays out that way. I have seen corrections being given out for EPSs and so on, but it's kind of weird to see the reported number being different compared to Benzinga. Usually what's different is the estimates. So the estimates are around the same ballpark, but the reported number on TradingView is really wrong over here, or at least I'm guessing TradingView is wrong and it's not Benzinga that's wrong. Let's hope it's TradingView. Carvana, however, like I mentioned, it's only one thing that matters at the moment. How does the stock turn 264, 265? Does it turn 264 into a support, or does it turn 264 into a resistance tomorrow? So pretty simple trade opportunity, pretty simple level to play off of. Another stock reporting tonight after hours is ARM, and a pretty big down move on ARM, especially after that Nvidia or semiconductor news that came out. Granted, ARM is not American, ARM is British. Am I right by saying that? I think ARM is owned by Japan, but is a British company, by meaning that it is owned by SoftBank of Japan, of Masayoshi-san, but it is actually a British company and was supposed to be bought out by Nvidia at one point, but the previous administration kind of came in and said anti-monopolistic laws, and they did not want Nvidia and ARM to merge and become a super company. So ARM had to IPO themselves, an IPO that I remember trading. So maybe, ARM not being an American company, the news is not as bullish for them, but the earnings report is kind of the only thing that matters at the moment, and clearly market not appreciating the earnings report at all. So let's quickly skim through the report over here, see how they reported today. 55 cents per share, beating estimates of 52 cents, 1.24 beating estimates of 1.23, increase from same period last year of 928. Outlook sees fiscal 2026 EPS between 1.56 and 1.64 versus 2.03. That is the miss right there. And the revenue in the range of 3.94 to 4.04 versus 4.91. Another big contributor to why the stock is falling big time. So very huge miss on the full year guidance on the stock, and hence, yeah, that would sum it up for you right there. They are growing year to year. Let's go Maple Leafs! Woo woo! Very huge growth. I mean, not huge growth, but they're still growing. 928 to 1.24, right? So pretty decent move to the north side on the revenue, but the future gives you a whole different story. So at this point, any pops, I mean, if you look at this one, it's under the 200-day moving average like the rest of the mega cap stocks. So at this point, any pops tomorrow, ideally you're looking to short it. It is still above $100, and should I say a wild guess and say we see $100 tomorrow? Honestly, probably not. The stock is already down like 11-12% today. I think going to 100 would be insane. I'm not sure we see $100 coming into play, honestly, but if it does, I am very ready to look long tomorrow off of that. At this moment, I think a pop into 113 and a reject around 113 will be important to keep an eye on. That is where the earnings VWAP is kind of landing at the moment too. So that 113 earnings VWAP kind of aligning with this little consolidation low. You can see how 113 had a little bit of a buyer, but the buyer not having enough juice to push the stock up, the seller outweighing the buyer, and then eventually cracking even lower into 109. So any pop into 113 will be interesting. Now we got some stocks where you might not even bother putting this on your watch list. So I'm not going to really read the earnings reports for these one because the chances are I'm not trading them. That's why. Chances are I'm not trading them at all. Cleveland Cliffs. Cleveland Cliffs pushing into the 52-week low, into a new 52-week low, I guess. Not really. 757, 52-week low, $6. I mean, do I care to fucking trade this name? Chances are no. Dutch Bros, maybe, because it is a little bit more expensive stock, and you know, if this one starts to move around a little bit, it could potentially have some setups to take advantage of. So I will highlight Dutch Bros on a different color, and then I'll look to see how it trades in pre-market. But as it is now, it's not a very high priority name. Occidental Petroleum also reporting today after hours, and you can see how much of a nothing burger move that is. I hate trading you know, oil names in general, so not a high priority name tomorrow either. Also not a high priority name tomorrow, Peloton. So for sure not gonna care about what Peloton's doing tomorrow. The fact that Peloton's above its 200-day moving average is actually pretty shocking, but hey, yeah, I don't care about Peloton. I really don't care about Peloton. So if it moves tomorrow, it moves. I think there's way better names out there with better liquidity, higher R vol. Did Spotify move today? Spotify is at the 52-week high. Is it the all-time high or 50 all-time high? Whoa, Spotify. Okay, Spotify is at its all-time high, and Shopify reporting tomorrow also. You know, it's probably worth putting Spotify on my watch list then. No! Spotify at the 660. Alright. So Oxy, move on. Shopify reports tomorrow pre-market. This one will be fun to keep an eye out for. QBTS, another one that reports tomorrow pre-market. This is a quantum name, and a quantum name that doesn't even do quantum. So it will be very interesting to see how they cook their books tomorrow to entice investors about their quantum computing. So we'll see how QBTS comes into play. Warner Brother Digital, it's the same basket as Peloton and CLF for me in terms of importance to trade tomorrow. So in that sense, it doesn't matter at all. So I don't care about what Warner Brother Digital does unless it brings a lot of volume. Chances are it does bring in RVol in general because it is earnings tomorrow. But until it does something crazy and gives me a very clean setup, I don't care about Warner Brother Digital. Crocs has been going sideways for quite some bit. Wow, okay. And below its 200-day moving average too, so possibly a move back into these range lows where we can look long. A move below these range lows possibly could look short. A pop into these range highs, that's exactly where the 200-day moving average is. I am for sure not looking long if that happens, because I think we will see an opportunity to look short first. But if the stock does get above this range high and starts to use 200-day moving average as a support, then you could look long. So a couple ideas over here to see how Crocs set up tomorrow. I think Crocs is possibly the most important name from the pre-market basket. That's wrong. Shopify is the most important name from the pre-market basket, and Crocs is right up there along with it. Some of the names that reported already today, Uber, or today or this week in general. Uber had a very good bounce off of that $80 area. Honestly, I was watching this off the open and I was very frustrated to not take that long, but it's not my setup. It's not something that you know, I'd be trading off a setup. I'd be just trading off a whim and ideas and vibes, which is what I've been doing all of this month, and it hasn't been so good, right? So focusing on not trading on vibes, focusing on not trading on ideas, and trading on setups instead. And because this wasn't a setup for me, I passed on that long. It was a beautiful long nevertheless. Maybe you could have looked for a long later, but I just didn't see anything clean standing out for me to take advantage of. But tomorrow is a new day, and if Uber does manage to push back into, they actually reported growth. right? So the report wasn't bad if you ask me. So if Uber does manage to push back into this $87 area, you might want to keep an eye on this name. Uber might be that dark horse where the stock starts to end up in really good prices in the future. So you want to they're actually well positioned for a complete robotization of the road, a complete automation. Is that the right word? A complete automation. There you go. A complete automation of the streets and of cars on the roads. They can handle all the logistics. They are basically the truck delivery service. Is that how you put it? You know the delivery guys for truck businesses. They say you have to go pick up load from here and go drop it off at Costco, or go pick up from here and go drop it off of Walmart. So it's basically like a logistics business, and Uber is so well positioned to kind of handle all of that. Honestly, Uber could possibly even take over that trucking business very soon with the help of Tesla trucks and so on. Dispatcher, thank you, TH, the dispatcher business. So it's basically an AI dispatcher, but it also is you are your own dispatcher, right? So you're cutting out the dispatcher middleman business in taxis, in trucking, in driving in general. They will not need to hire drivers in the future. They can just buy the new Tesla car and have a fleet of Tesla cars, have a fleet of pony cars. Less danger for Uber, less money to be spent on casualties or other stuff in general. It's just the most logical sense for where the world is heading into in terms of the automation of the streets and cars and so on. So I think Uber is by far one of the best stocks to keep an eye out for, and if it does get above 87, I think looking long over there will be a very good trade. So got to keep an eye out for that one. I'm gonna put an alert into the $87 area. However, I don't think it happens very soon. It might take like a week for the 87 breakout to happen, and the market needs to go higher also for that idea. Disney could have a possible breakout above $93.20. So, oh wait, we are here. Never mind. We're here on Disney. I was gonna say, isn't Disney trading at $100? Because I do remember looking at it today. It is trading at $100, and I think that is basically your inflection level. So 100 over under. If it gets below 100, there's possibly shorts over there, but I'm not going to be too interested for that. But if it gets into 100 and holds, there could be some longs over there to take advantage of. Novo Nordisk completely reversed its earnings moves. That's pretty sad, because HIMS continuing to ride to the north side. Day 2 moved today and just kept going higher and higher and higher. So HIMS with the short flow is looking like it is going parabolic mode very soon. This stock is looking like it's gonna go crazy. So for sure, more important to watch HIMS than it is to watch NVO for me, without a doubt. Unity, I'm gonna move on from that one. SMCI, I'm not gonna care about that one too much either. AMD, I am not a big fan of day trading AMD, and this is something I say a million times to you guys, but AMD might just give you a trade around the $100 area, similar to Disney kinda. If it stays above 100, you could look long and look for a move back into today's high or a bigger move. But granted, ARM's report, with how ARM reported, I don't think AMD is going to have too much of a juice to the upside. So it's either ARM's report brings down the semiconductor stocks, or the Trump news keeps semiconductor stocks up, and ARM kind of gets dragged up along with the rest of them. So those are the two theories about the semiconductor moves tomorrow, and because of that, I'm not interested about AMD at all. I might just care about ARM, right? If ARM keeps selling off while the other stocks are going up, a possible dip buy long on ARM setting up somewhere in a good spot, and I just have to be patient for it. But if all the stocks are selling off, then the chance are ARM's also gonna sell off and sell off more because of its earnings report. The earnings report wasn't that bad, but the guidance was. So you know, it might sell off more, and on that reason, I might just focus on ARM again, right? Just more of a reason to focus on ARM. Palantir day 3 earnings, basically. At this point, it's just the earnings day low, earnings day high that matters to me, and the priority on Palantir also is going to be a little bit lower. Did we just score again, or they're just showing highlights? I think, yeah, end of period 2 happened and we're waiting for period 3. Domi scored. Okay. So Palantir, watching how Palantir will give us some opportunities tomorrow. It's kind of that 110 inflection level, but Palantir has played back and forth around that 110 a little bit. So that inflection level 110 is not like a line in sand 110. You have a little bit back and forth around there. So you have to be fluid, be able to read the tape around this area, and then make a thesis that can potentially give you a setup. ROK, we got this one from Center Points watch list, so basically watching today's low, today's high, and so on. DoorDash making a second leg to the downside, but still very much in previous ranges. So if it pops up and stays below 180 tomorrow, I think there could be a trade, but it's not a high priority. There's other stocks that are high priorities, which are purple. The orange ones are kind of just like, if there's a trade there, if there's a setup there, maybe you can give it a C risk, maybe you can give it a B minus risk and try to get lucky on those ones. But the purple ones are where I want to really focus and see if there's an A plus trade, and if there is, I want to put that A plus risk on the table. Robinhood, talked about this one briefly, trying to get back above 50. If it looks strong above 50, actually I think after hours it tries to get back into the 50 area. So if Robinhood starts to build some energy above 50, that is a pretty good stock for swing traders, for long traders. This is kind of exactly what you want to see for the breakout. So above 51.50, above 50, I think that is something to keep an eye on. So just setting an alert for myself, not a high priority at the moment, but if that breakout does come into play, then I don't want to be the guy who misses out on it and then, you know, sitting here with being a cheerleader without any real profits and just telling you guys, I told you so, I called the stock, I called the trade, but I don't have the goddamn trade, so who cares, right? Calls don't make money, executions do. So if execution is needed, then you got to make sure that you are prepared for that by setting alerts, by making a plan, by knowing exactly what you want to do when that sets up. Coinbase, pretty good reversal, but still under the 200-day moving average. If you want some exposure to Bitcoin, I think you can just go look at IBIT. I'm sorry, there's a really cute girl on my screen right now, so I got absolutely distracted. If you are interested in Bitcoin exposure, then you can actually go oh boy, yeah, I got distracted very quickly over there with that one. But if you want Bitcoin exposure, then MSTR, IBIT, and even ASST honestly might be your weapon of choices tomorrow, because I don't think Coinbase is the one to really put your effort and brain power into. Nvidia with its news, if it's above 115, that is an A plus trade for the long side. So Nvidia above 115, we're watching to see if that can hold. Google obviously got taken out to the barn and shot. Headshot dead. 127 million shares traded on Google today. Wow, that's insane. So that's a pretty big volume candle on Google. Last time Google traded 100 million shares was in 2023 of February. And then I guess, okay, I didn't expect Google to trade 100 million shares that fucking often. That's pretty crazy. Anyways, pretty good volume spike, insane R vol. Today's half point is kinda at 156. So if we do pull back to 156 on Google, I think we can expect some sort of a resistance on this name around that area. And granted that this stock was so heavy today, I think it is expected to expect. It is okay to expect some weakness on the pop on the stock tomorrow. So I'm not looking to see if the stock gets above 157.50. I'm looking to see if I can short it. Microsoft possibly getting below 430 back into 424. That is possibly a short over there on Microsoft below 430. I hear my niece talking to my dad saying good night. So potentially she's going to be coming upstairs to go to bed. And if she is, I want to go say good night. Anyways, it's almost time to call it a night. Let me just quickly scan through some of these. Meta potentially giving you a long above 605. That's something to keep an eye out for. Nope, she is coming upstairs. Give me a second, chat. You look weird. She looked a picture of mine and she's like, you look so weird. I'm like, you look weird. MSTY holder here. Yes, sir. That's the leverage ETF. MSTU and MSTY. Two leverage ETFs that you could also use at your disposal instead of looking to trade MSTR, because MSTR might be too expensive for you. So nothing wrong with that. If you are interested to get some exposure on MSTR on Bitcoin, you can do so with MSTU and MSTY. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I do know these ETFs get repriced, so you want to be careful that you don't get stuck in these repricings and your price just keeps getting lower and lower and lower and lower, and you get absolutely destroyed when that happens. I don't know how repricing actually works, but you want to be careful when it does happen. Apple was fairly weak off of the Google news, honestly, which was very surprising to me. But still, the $200 area pretty important on Apple. If it does, and also if you go to Apple on the hourly right here, you can see how these multiple days low right at 197. So if Apple pops into 197, that's possibly the first area of a resistance, and then above that you have the $200 area as a possible second area of resistance. The rest of the stocks, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother looking at too much. Honestly, Tesla is something to take a look at, because Tesla 270 tomorrow, if that breaks down, that's a trade over there. But if Tesla 270 continues to hold, then I'm just going to patiently wait for 290 instead. So Tesla 271 and then 293, 295, whatever that price is, in that range for Tesla to keep an eye out for. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the watch list. I do have a couple more stocks to talk about, but sadly no time over here. So quickly, maybe we do a little bit of a research on these. Where is it? IPO calendar. Yes, we got to go to that one. Before we go to IPO calendar, let me quickly take a look at the econ calendar, because it is a little busy tomorrow. 8:30 we got jobless claims, non-pharma productivity, 1 o'clock we have the 30-year bond auction, and that's kind of about it. There's only 2 3-star events tomorrow, one at 8:30 and one at 1 o'clock. So watch out for how these numbers come out and how the market reacts to these numbers. The FOMC was kind of a nothing burger event, honestly, but if these numbers don't come out in in favor for interest rates, then you might see the market getting scared and pushing down. But if these numbers do come out good with the bunch of other good news that came out into the close, you can see how the markets are actually up right now in the after hours. So all things combined, you could possibly get some move higher off of these numbers if they do come out in the right direction. But if they don't come out in the right direction, then that is not a good thing at all, because I think that could kickstart a move back to the downside. So far though, Powell did say that the market is looking good, economy is looking good. They're not looking to cut rates, but they're also not looking to hike rates at the moment. I think the rate cut is being priced in December, so that's still quite some time out, but at least they're talking about future rate cuts in the near future. So things are looking good. Things are looking kind of okay. At the same time, Trump is still talking about how China deals are not looking to go in the right direction. I think Trump came out and said that he is not going to roll back on the tariffs. So, Trump is being Trump, and market's got to be the market. eToro, that's pretty cool. Another what is it, financial trading broker, another broker going public, like Webull went public recently, going public. eToro, so we'll see if this one plays out. I think Webull opened at a much lower price. Couple stocks that we do care about tomorrow are these ones right here. AHL, did we just score again? No, we did not. AHL and AII. So let me quickly read about these ones. Aspen Insurance Holdings. Sadly, I think both of them are insurance companies. Go back to IPO. AHL expected 29 to 30, 15 to 17. To 17. 11 million. All right, so now I have that info saved. Now I can go read about what the company actually does. 2.7 billion market cap, so it's on the verge of small cap. Overall outstanding shares almost 100 million shares, and they are offering about 11 million to the public market. PE ratio of 393, so very, very highly evaluated, highly valued, or not valued, but highly priced stock over here compared to their price to earnings ratio. But they are profitable, right? They are profitable. And now let's go see if they are growing year to year. They are, but very, very slightly. Like, I mean, this growth is not 30% year over year, 100% year over year. It's very small. They're growing year over year, which I guess is the only thing that matters. But again, it's an insurance company. Like, what do we really care about this? Do you guys remember, there used to be an insurance company where a CEO was walking down the street and he got shot by a 3D printed gun? What happened to that company? So, I mean, I'm not really sure if this one's Bermuda. It's in the Bermuda Triangle. Awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure this is the company to be overly excited about for the long, but for sure, anytime a stock IPOs, I'm interested. They have almost 1,000 employees, which is not bad, and that's about it. That's about it. Oh, it was me. You're Luigi Mangione. I think your volume is super low for some reason. Oh, the volume, gotcha. Yeah. There's no way my volume is low. I'm watching my volume literally peak over here to the upside. American Integrity Insurance Company, profitable. Okay, is profitable and growing an insurance group. Financials, founded in 294. What? You were founded in the year of 294? Okay. All right, sure, let's take that. What? 313 million market cap, very, very small market cap. PE of 7.8, very, very cheap PE. Outstanding shares 19 million, and they're offering 6 million, 7 million to the market. So basically 50% of the float being offered into the market. If you ask me, that's an exit. Someone is looking for an exit over there, and they got their exit on this IPO. And are they growing year over year? 1%. This is why I said these stocks don't matter at all for a day trade. Not for a day trade, but I guess they do matter for a day trade. But for swinging and everything else, the stock does not matter. So when they do IPO tomorrow, what price does it open at? How far is that price away from this range? And you know, obviously, the tape. What does the tape look like? Are there buyers on the bid? Are there sellers on the offer? Who's more aggressive? Who's punching into who? All of that will give us some good information to trade off of. They work in Florida. So we'll see if, you know, usually something that I really like to do is do this. Come on, chat. Really? Really? Who you bullshitting, dude? You're telling me a no-name company has an office here? Alright, dude. Alright, let's go take a look at this. Oh shit, that is their business name. Okay, I guess it is legit. I guess it is legit. Isn't that the company name, Integrity, right there? Well, goddamn, well that's a view. American Integrity. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty damn... That's a beautiful building right by the ocean. I mean, come on. All right, I was being a, I guess it's a you know, multiple building, but that's a pretty good office, and they have their name plastered at the building side. So that's obviously not a small company. You know, big companies usually have that. What is this? Highwood Base Center. Highwoods Base Center. Doesn't this look like condos, chat? Like, why would you put an office here? Like, wouldn't this be a much better condo? That's pretty crazy. I don't know. I don't get the choice, but hey, it's not my job to think about that. I'm just here to do some research, and that looks like a fairly legitimate company with a fairly legitimate building. So I'll backpedal on. I guess they put like one office building in the middle of condos, because this looks like, what is this? Novel Beach Park. So that's just like a big parking lot for the beach. What is this? Other employing contracting buildings. Huh. Alright. That's enough research about that company. Somewhat of a legitimate company. Angry Buddha calls it a zombie company. Doesn't look as zombie after the research, honestly. But in terms of the market importance, very much a zombie company. So we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to end the stream here. I thank you guys as always for tuning in. Tomorrow will be Thursday, so that means the final stream of the week, and I will catch you guys next week after tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. TH, you are getting banned from my stream because you said go Florida Panthers, and no, it's go Leafs go. Florida's gonna get their ass beat. Your team was Kings, wasn't it? And Kings lost. So you can't just team hop like that. I guess because your team lost, you're team hopping just to be the hater you are and go against me. But no, it's going to be go Leafs go, baby, and we're going to go all the way to the finals. And honestly, if we lose the finals, I don't care as much, but as long as we go to the finals, I'll be very happy. Very, very happy. It looks like we're going to win this game. I'm going to go catch the last 15 minutes of this game while I eat some dinner and do my journaling and all the other fancy stuff. So, good night. Catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Peace. Score is 3-2 Maple Leafs. Go Leafs, go.
Destroy them. Get ready for it. Trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.